Right, I'm just going to switch on the Calyx M. As you can see, just hold the button down for a few seconds. This is the one that has had less than 30 hours use that I'm selling. It's got advanced Purist ROM installed as per the item description on eBay. This is a $99 US upgrade ROM, which helps extend the battery life and speed of the unit, which has a low battery life and is slightly sluggish. This has made a difference. I have two other of these units, and it definitely increases the battery time by about half an hour, I would estimate. I just wanted to take this video to show and confirm that this unit is fully operational as described in the item description. You notice in the top left hand corner the moving three dots. That means it's scanning and initializing the media. It does this every time it starts up. So what happens when you use this unit? Obviously it requires you to start it, and it scans. So you'll have seen it pop up with the SD card mounted and the micro SD card mounted, and therefore it starts to go through the scan. You can't play music until it's 3/4 of the way through the scan. Normally what I do is I pause what I'm playing and then switch it off, and then when I switch it back on again, I'll wait till the last track that was playing comes back and reappears on the screen. It can take a few minutes because it depends on how many gigabytes of storage you have within the machine and within the unit. The Calyx comes with 64 gigabytes. If you just don't have any memory cards in it, it actually boots up relatively quickly and scans relatively quickly, ready to play. This unit's being sold with a 128 gigabyte SD card, and it's got some more additional micro SD card storage installed. As you can see, if I click the button, it says there's an SD card with 128 gigabytes installed, of which there's 9 megabytes free, and it shows the internal storage, and it shows the micro SD card with 64 gigabyte card installed. So as you can see, it's still scanning up. So at the moment it can take up to 3 to 4 minutes to boot up, depending on the amount of storage. I think I will check in a minute, but this is, see, there you go, it's just started up now, or I thought it was. Sometimes flickers. It'll come back with a song when it's ready to play. That means it's normally completed scanning the internal memory, which it does first, then the I think it's the SD card, then the micro SD card. If you use different brands of SD or micro SD card, that can affect the scan and boot up time. So the faster the boot up time and the scan speed, the better. And then you can see how responsive it is. So it's taken approximately 3 minutes 30 to boot up to where the last song was playing. You can see it's still scanning a bit in the background, but this is, at this point you can start playing the function. I can go to the album art menu and see how things are going. So everything's there. I can go to artist and it'll bring that up. You can see there it's bringing up the artists, and I can also bring up the tracks. It'll scan what it's scanning and bring up the number of tracks. You can see there the tracks coming up, and then you can scroll through them. Playlists. So here it's telling me of if you want to do the a shuffle through all your albums or tracks. The way you do this on this player is to ensure that you get you create a new playlist and add all your albums or add all your tracks to it, and then you can play that and shuffle it. You can't just select a track and play shuffle. That's just one of the quirks of the software of this program. You can see it's still scanning in the background, but it doesn't stop you playing. It just means that while it's still scanning and finishing off the scan, it can be a little bit sluggish. I can push play, and then as you can see, it's starting to play the track. go the other way, I can pause it. I can go to the jukebox where you can add songs as well, so there's functionality there, but it's just a slide, so it's fully functional. I can click on here, back to the playlist that's playing, so it'll tell you what the next track or what other tracks on that album are. I can push it back to the thing. Now it's telling me the library scan's completed, and it took in this case 5 minutes 20, which is quite common depending on the scan. So that's with I said 128 gigabyte SD card, a 64 byte micro SD card, and internal storage of 64 gigabytes, all pretty much full. So that's the limitation, I guess, or the weakness of the this player, is that it does do that scan every time it starts up, and that's as described as per the listing that I put on eBay. But as you can see, this unit's fired up, booted up, and is ready to play and is playing. This unit's had less than 30 hours of use because I've got 3 other of these players, and this one I'd purchased new and was planning to send off to get an upgrade on the hardware, because there was going to be by Fidelizer, who I put the upgraded Purist ROM on here. There was some hardware modifications potentially going to be possible, and I was going to invest in that and see what improvement, if any, it could make to this this player. However, never did that, so this player has effectively been sitting in its box new, and as I wasn't going to proceed and I don't need 4 of these players, I am selling it. But I just wanted to confirm, and that's the reason for taking this video, that this unit is actually functioning properly. I can fast forward the track to the next song, and it's playing. The hardware buttons, everything working. So there you go. This is the, if I stop it and pause it, then I click on the top to stop it. Do you want to shut down? Okay, and then it shuts down. If you forget to shut it off, it doesn't have an auto shut off feature, so you'll drain your battery pretty quick. This unit will last 4 to 6 hours. If you're playing just MP3 with the screen off and 1 charge cycle, I've had up to 8 hours on my other players. But typically you're going to have a mixture of FLAC and other high definition music, and if you're opening your screen and using your screen, then obviously the battery life is reduced. The Fidelizer does give you on average 30 minutes extra. I've still got one of my players with the original non-upgraded ROM to do a direct comparison before and after the upgrade, and I was getting 30 minutes extra. This is just, again, this video is just to confirm that I'm sending this player off in fully operational condition. This photo is attached as packed, just to confirm.